Presented by Nelson Jewelers, State Farm Agent Pete Fay, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Brownsburg Baseball is on the air. This afternoon, we come to you from beautiful Avon, Indiana, as the Bulldogs will take on their rival, Avon Orioles, this afternoon on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. A very pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you. My name is Brian Scott. I'll be calling the action for this afternoon's game between the Orioles and your Brownsburg Bulldogs. Bulldogs coming off of a big win yesterday as it went down to the final at bat before Cody Gill knocked in a game-winning RBI to allow the Bulldogs to win in the bottom of the seventh as they defeated Avon yesterday by the score of 8-7. Bulldogs collected 13 hits in that contest as Mike Hartnagel 3 for 5 in that game. And, of course, Cody Gill also 3 for 5, scored a couple of runs, and, of course, had the big game-winning RBI to seal the victory for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Bulldogs now have 2 wins over these Avon Orioles this season, once in the Hendricks County Tournament yesterday, and they look to wrap up the season series this afternoon as they are here in Avon. We are going to take a quick timeout, let you know who is making this possible to bring you Bulldogs baseball on XRB, and we'll be back with starting lineups and first pitch right after this. This is Bulldogs baseball on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm Agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm Agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm Agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm Agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2.5 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Welcome back to Avon High School. Brian Scott with you at Bulldogs Baseball on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. Game 3 of the season between these two teams as Avon and Brownsburg hooked up earlier this season in the Hendricks County Tournament in round 1. It was the Bulldogs coming away with the 8-3 victory back in early April. Bulldogs won yesterday again on Cody Gill's game-winning RBI base hit in the bottom of the 7th as the Bulldogs came away with the 8-7 victory, and they'll try to sweep the season series with the Orioles this afternoon as they have come to Avon, and they will take on the Avon Orioles with a record of 9-7 overall, but only 3-6 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, while the Bulldogs come in 9-5 overall, 4-4 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Let's go ahead and give you our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Brownsburg Bulldogs, they're wearing the gray pants with the purple jerseys and the white numerals, and head coach Eric Mattingly's lineup looks like this. Starting and leading off at shortstop will be Mike Hartnagel. Batting second, the center fielder is Tyler Houston. Batting third, the designated hitter, Jackson McGowan. The cleanup batter is Cody Gill, the hero from yesterday's game, and he will be playing third. The fifth place batter in catching is Kyle Yeager. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Huston Liam. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Sam Comer. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Austin Jones, and Garrett Ish will play right field. He will bat ninth. So once again, for Coach Mattingly, the batting order looks like this. Hartnagel at short, Houston in center, McGowan is the designated hitter. Gill at third, Yeager at catching, Liam in left, Comer at first, Jones at second, Ish is in right. And the pitcher for the Bulldogs is the sophomore, Caleb Sampson. Here's the lineup they will be looking at this afternoon as longtime Orioles head coach Troy Drosch. Lineup looks like this. Leading off and playing center field will be Cole Johnson. Batting second, the right fielder, Bat Batistic. And before we give you, let's have our national anthem. That's our national anthem as we get ready for baseball here from Avon High School. Once again, let's give you the starting lineup for Avon Oriole head coach Troy Drosch. Leading off and playing center field is Cole Johnson. Matt Batustik will play at second. He'll play right field. Dylan Jones is the catcher, batting third. The cleanup batter and pitching today is Christian Reynolds. Chandler Sandburn is the fifth-place batter. He's DHing for the second baseman, Brayton Nyland. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Justin Dunham. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Matt Moore. Tasker Strobel plays left field. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth at first is Jake Smith. So once again for the Orioles, Johnson in center, Batustik in right, Jones catching. Reynolds the pitcher, Sandberg the DH for the second baseman, Nyland. Dunham at short, Moore at first, Strobel in left, and Smith is playing third base as we get ready for baseball, and we have first pitch just about ready to get underway. Glad you could join us for Bulldogs baseball on 1610 AM XRB. And if you're watching it on xrbradio.com, I want to remind you this is an audiosportsonline.com production. Next game, you'll have your regular announcers back, Troy Reimer, Christopher Worley, and the inimitable Mr. Rob Kendall as we get ready for baseball. Starting pitcher this afternoon for the Avon Orioles is Christian Reynolds. He is competing in his eighth game, and in 9 1/3 innings, he's given up only 5 hits, 7 runs, but only 3 of them earned. He has walked 7, struck out 8, and he has a 2.25 ERA with 1 win, 1 loss, and 3 saves to his credit. Orioles are in the home whites, white jerseys, white pants, the black numerals with gold trim, and the black caps, as we get ready for baseball on a absolutely beautiful day for baseball here in central Indiana. With all the cold weather, the rain, the wet conditions, it is absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures hovering close to 80. There is a wind that moves from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole, and a fairly brisk one at that. So balls that get up in the air and head toward left field might tend to push to the foul line, where heading down the right field line, you'll have to keep your eyes open, as they could tend to stay a little bit more, come back and curve fair. Here at Oriole Park, here at Avon High School, it is 318 down the lines, 380 to straightaway center field on a beautiful day, clear blue skies, a little bit of haze, bright sunshine. Field looks absolutely gorgeous here at Avon, and much like it has at Brownsburg. As Reynolds finishes his warm-ups, and we're ready for baseball, as it'll be Mike Hartnagel, Tyler Houston, and Jason McGowan. 1, 2, 3 for the Bulldogs to start. And it will be the Bulldogs' leading hitter of the season, Mike Hartnagel, stepping up to the plate. Hartnagel batting .520, 24 homers, 13 RBIs. As the right-handed batter steps in, Reynolds' first pitch is swung on and missed, and this game is underway. defensively as Reynolds quickly back to work. Hartnagel bunts through a ball, and he is quickly down in a hold. No balls and 2 strikes. From left field to right, Tasker Strobel, Cole Johnson, Matt Batustik. First to third, Matt Moore, Brayton Nyland, Justin Dunham, and Jake Smith. As this 2-0-2 pitch is hammered high to left field, giving it a look is Strobel. It will go foul over the fence as that wind got a hold of that one. Looks like it pushed it just foul, just to the left field foul pole. And it's a long, loud strike or foul ball for Mike Hartnagel. As Reynolds sends the 0-2 plateward, breaking ball bounced to shortstop Dunham, fires over to Matt Moore at first, and there's one away here to begin this contest as Hartnagel bounces out short to first. Bring up Tyler Houston. Houston playing center field this afternoon, batting .413, a couple of homers, 7 RBIs as the right-handed batter. Watches that one go by for a ball. 1-0 pitch in on the outside corner, and that'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Orioles around the infield, as I said, Matt Moore, Brayton Nyland, Justin Dunham, Jake Smith. Dylan Jones is the catcher. Christian Reynolds sends the 1-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss over a breaking ball is Tyler Houston, and he's quickly in a hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outfield straight away for the Orioles as the Bulldogs center fielder fouls this one to the left toward the Oriole dugout, and the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jason McGowan on deck for Brownsburg, just underway. As the Bulldogs look to sweep the season series from the Orioles. 1-2 pitch is waved at and missed, strike 3. As Hartnagel goes down swinging, there's 2 down here in the Bulldogs first, and that'll bring up Jason McGowan. McGowan batting .375 on the season. No homers, no RBIs, another right-handed bat. As Reynolds works quickly from the windup, that fastball stays high, and it's a ball and no strikes. Shortstop Justin Dunham maybe a little bit pulled toward the third base side of the bag as that pitch misses low, 2-0. A lot of room right back up the middle for McGowan. Cody Gill on deck. Should McGowan reach? 2-0 pitch, that stays low, and the count has run to 3 balls and no strikes. So McGowan will likely be taking the 3-0. No, he swings at it, bounces it to the left, and it gets by the shortstop, Justin Dunham. So McGowan saw a good pitch, a pitch that he liked on 3-0, and I mentioned Dunham pulled a little bit over to third, but McGowan still able to sneak that ball past the shortstop for the Orioles, and the Bulldogs have a 2-out base runner in the top of the first, and that'll bring up Cody Gill. Gill batting .500, no homers, 4 RBIs, and he swings at an off-speed pitch, no balls and a strike. Gill again with a big game-winning RBI hit to send the Bulldog faithful home happy yesterday. And he has a runner at first. Here's a high ball they throw down, and a good throw by the catcher Dylan Jones as they tried to pick off Jason McGowan at first. Moore took the throw, but base umpire says that Jackson got underneath the tag. And a swing and a miss on that pitch, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cody Gill. 2 down, a runner at first here in the top of the first. From Avon High School, as Cody waits on the 1-2, he swings this one and fouls it back over the screen, and the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. I want to remind fans, if you've missed any of the Bulldogs' actions this season that we've broadcasted on XRB and Audio Sports Online, just go to our YouTube page, look up Audio Sports Online, and relive it. Here's a breaking ball that stays up, and a nice play by Jake Smith, the first baseman. He throws over to first, and the Bulldogs are retired in the top of the first. A hit and a runner left. Played a half an inning. Bulldogs nothing. Orioles coming to bat. This is Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm Agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. Bulldogs get a hit and strand a runner in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first as the Avon Orioles come to bat for the first time this afternoon, and they will be looking at Caleb Sampson as the young right-hander sophomore takes the mound. He is 1-0 this season. He's worked 11 2/3 innings, given up 12 hits, 5 runs. He has walked 7 and struck out 14. He does have a complete game to his credit. And he will be looking at the top of the batting order for the Orioles. Cole Johnson, Matt Patustik, and Dylan Jones here in the bottom half of the first inning from Avon High School. As Sampson has concluded his warm-up pitches, and heading to the plate is Cole Johnson. Johnson on the year batting .346, no homers, 6 runs driven in. Johnson, starting quarterback for the Avon Orioles. The Oriole football team made it all the way to the sectional championship game before losing to Pike. A couple of Oriole football players on this squad as Sampson's first pitch hits the outside corner, and Johnson looks at a called strike. 0-1 pitch is on its way. This one is taken the other way, a little inside-outside swing by Cole Johnson. He slaps it into right field. And the Orioles have their first hit of the contest with the first batter, and that'll bring up Matt Patustik. Patustik on the season, batting .438, no homers, 7 runs driven in. In at third is Cody Gill, expecting a possible bunt. Ball is high, throw down by Yeager, and they try to catch Cole Johnson leading on the throw down to Sam Comer, but Comer is a little late with a tag. Defensively for the Bulldogs from left to right, Hunter Liam, Tyler Houston, and Garrett Ish. First to third, Sam Comer, Austin Jones, Mike Hartnagel, and Cody Gill. Here's a pickoff throw by Sampson, and diving back is Johnson. Kyle Yeager is the catcher, and the pitcher is the sophomore Caleb Sampson. 1-0 count as Gill in on the grass at third. Sampson throws breaking balls high. Another throw by Yeager. Johnson was stumbling as he was trying to get back, and he will be picked off. High throw. Yeager thought about throwing to first and then saw Johnson stumble. That allowed Yeager to fire down, and he hooks up with Sam Comer to pick off Johnson. So the Orioles' leadoff batter is erased. And now here's a hot shot picked off by Jones. Front diving over to first, and a nice play to erase Matt Patustik. A diving play by Austin Jones to the second base side of the bag. Got up and fired a seed over to Sam Comer. And there's 2 away here in the Oriole first. That'll bring up Dylan Jones. Jones for the Orioles this season, batting .273, 2 homers, 10 runs driven in, as he watches that one go by for a ball. Fine defensive play by the Bulldogs second baseman, Austin Jones. Here's a fastball down and in the dirt, and the count will even up. The count will go 2 balls and no strikes to Dylan Jones. Sampson with the 2-0 delivery. It's on its way. Ball just misses outside, and Jones now with the count in his favor. 3 balls and no strikes. Outfield straightaway for the Dogs, and the 3-0 pitch is on its way. Here's a fastball that's in there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Christian Reynolds on deck for the Orioles. should Jones be able to reach. Sampson with a 3-1. And that pitch is a delayed call, but called a strike. And the count is now run full to the Orioles catcher, Dylan Jones. Sampson with a break-even pitch on its way. Curveball stays high, and Dylan Jones has himself a 2-out walk. Second base runner for the Orioles in this inning, though Cole Johnson was erased he had a leadoff single and then was picked off as he stumbled trying to get back to the bag at first. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Christian Reynolds. Reynolds on the season batting .340, a homer, 10 RBIs, right-handed bat. That ball breaking or an off-speed pitch misses high, and it's a ball and no strikes. Gill even with the bag at third. And Sampson from the stretch pours in a fastball in on the inside part of the plate. And the count will even up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 strike to the pitcher, Christian Reynolds. As the throw over to first, they chase Dylan Jones back as goes to Sam Comer. Here's a fastball on the outside corner called strike, and the count is now in the Dogs' favor at 1-2 strikes as Sampson gets the call on the outside part of the plate. Jones with a lead at first. Sampson from the stretch deals, breaking ball, foul tip back into the catcher's mid of Kyle Yeager, but Yeager can't hold on to it, and Reynolds will remain in the batter's box with a count of 1-2 strikes. 1-2 pitch on its way. Inside misses, and the count is evened up at 2-2. Chandler Sandburn waits on deck to see if Reynolds can extend the Orioles' bottom of the first. As Sampson comes from the stretch, deals the 2-2 pitch. This one's reached at and fouled up over the right side, and the count will remain at 2-2 strikes. Bulldogs JV squad down the right field line. They're in action as well this afternoon. And the 2-2 pitch is on its way. Fastball mitches away, and the Christian Reynolds has now run the count full. Second batter that Caleb Sampson has run the count full to, as they got the first 2 outs fairly quickly. And Reynolds now with a 3-2 pitch. Runner goes on the 3-2. Here's a high chopper as Sampson will pick it up late, now throw it away. Rounding third and heading for home is Dylan Jones, as Reynolds will go all the way to third on the 2-base error. Sampson had thoughts of letting that one see if it can go foul, and at the last second decided to pick it up. And now coming out of the first base coach's box is Coach Eric Mattingly. It was a high chopper. Coach Mattingly making sure that that ball wasn't a foul ball, as it was bounced off the plate, and that's what he's getting the explanation. So Reynolds reaches on what is eventually a 2-base error. That allows Jones to score all the way from first. Reynolds ends up at third on the error by Caleb Sampson, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead, and Chandler Sandburn, the designated hitter, is at the plate. And he'll watch a fastball at the knees for a called strike. Sandburn on the season batting .289, no homers, 6 runs driven in. Orioles helped out that it was a 3-2 count. Jones was running on the pitch. And there's a fastball at the knees, and Sampson bounces back to quickly go ahead of Sandburn. No balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Orioles with a lead here in the bottom of the first. Dylan Jones now at third, it is Christian Reynolds at third. Ball misses outside, 1-2. One balls and 2 strikes to the Orioles' designated hitter. There's a breaking ball past the third baseman, Cody Gillen into left field for an RBI base hit. Reynolds scores from third. Sandburn has the RBI base hit. And the Orioles extend their lead now to 2-0. For Sandburn now on the season, RBI number 7. Of course, both those runs unearned. And a quick throw over by Sampson trying to pick off Sandburn. Justin Dunham is at the plate. Dunham on the season batting .279, no homers, 7 runs driven in, right-handed batter. Fastball upstairs, Yeager throws down to Sam Comer, and diving back is Chandler Sandburn. Ball, no strikes to Dunham. Outfield straight away for the Bulldogs. They trail 2-0 here, bottom of the first. Another throw over by Sampson. And diving back into the bag is Sandburn. From the stretch, pitch is on its way. Fastball hits the outside corner, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Beautiful day again here at Avon. People coming out, enjoying the warm weather, seeing some baseball. But the Bulldogs fans right now find their team down by the score of 2-0. As another throw over chases Sandburn back to the bag at first. 1-1 is the count. Pitch comes in. Off-speed pitch misses and makes the count 2-1 strike as Kyle Yeager held the mitt there just a little longer, see if he could get the call. Doesn't get it. And the count goes to 2-1. Sampson deals the 2-1 fastball high, and the count's now run to 3-1. So Sampson, after giving up the leadoff base hit, they get Cole Johnson picked off. He gets Matt Batustik to ground out on an excellent play by Austin Jones, but then worked the count full to the next two batters. And now finding a little bit of a control problem. Swung on and missed on a ball that was a little bit off the plate. And the count has once again run full to an Oriole batter as Dunham with 3 strikes. That'll send Chandler Sandburn on the move. Here he goes, and this one's reached out and fouled over the first base dugout where the Bulldogs reside, and the count will remain at 3 strikes. Chandler Sandburn returns back to first. He was off with a pitch on a full count with 2 out. 2-0 Orioles lead. We're in the bottom of the first. As Sampson from the stretch deals, runner goes, pitches high, ball 4. And the inning continues for the Orioles. It is the second walk by Caleb Sampson in this inning. And that'll bring up the 7-hole hitter, the first baseman, Matt Moore, as Coach Mattingly now out to the mound. And he will bring the infield in with him as they try to settle down young Caleb Sampson. Inning started for the Orioles with Cole Johnson getting a leadoff single, but a pickoff on a fine play from Kyle Yeager to Sam Comer when Johnson stumbled going back to first. An excellent defensive play by Austin Jones, and the Bulldogs looked like they were going to get out of the inning unscathed, but a walk, an error that led to a run, an RBI single. Now Justin Dunham walks, the second Oriole to walk in the inning to put runners at first and second, 2 out and 2 in for Avon. And the batter, as I mentioned, will be Matt Moore. Moore batting .300 on the season, no homers, 1 run driven in. Another right-handed batter. He is a freshman. And Orioles look to tack on some more here in the bottom of the first as Sampson checks the runners and deals. First pitch, slow breaking ball is in there for a called strike. Bulldogs defense playing straight up as Hartnagel cheats in behind Sandburn. Here's a fastball that misses 1-1. Sandburn at second. Dunham at first. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the first. Fastball is popped up right side or the right field. Center fielder, though, Tyler Houston will come over, make the play, and that retires the side. But the Orioles tack on 2 runs here in the bottom of the first. We'll go to the second with the Orioles in front, 2-0. This is Bulldogs basketball on XRB 1610 AM and XRBradio.com.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2 1/2 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Welcome back to Avon High School. Brian Scott with you for Bulldogs baseball on XRB. After one, the Orioles lead 2-0. They got a run on an error for their first run of this contest, and then Chandler Sandberg came through with an RBI single, and that is how the Orioles have scored the first 2 runs of this contest, as Christian Reynolds back on the mound, and he will be facing Kyle Yeager, Hunter Liam, and Sam Comer, 5, 6, and 7 in the Bulldogs batting order to begin the top of the second, with the Dogs trailing by 2. Right-handed batter Kyle Yeager steps up to the plate. Fastball misses away for ball 1. Yeager on the season batting .325, no homers, 9 runs driven in. Here's a base hit into left field. That'll split the outfielders. And now after a delay at first, sliding into second is Kyle Yeager. Yeager watched that ball as Strobel and Johnson chased after it, and after a bit of a slow up around first, he decided to pour on the gas, and he ends up with a leadoff double for the Bulldogs here in the second inning. Yeager, his 4th double of the season, and that'll bring up Hunter Liam. Liam batting .378, no homers, 10 RBIs as the right-handed left fielder steps in, and Yeager takes his leadoff second, swung on and missed by Liam, and he's down a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Yeager at second with a leadoff double. As Reynolds looks at second, deals. Here's a ball bunted right back to the pitcher. Firing over to third is Reynolds, and they will get Kyle Yeager on a hard bunt. That ball was up in the eyes of Hunter Liam. Bunted it back hard, right back to the pitcher, and they will knock off Kyle Yeager. That'll go 1-5 on the sacrifice attempt, trying to get Yeager over to third. Liam reaches on a fielder's choice, and that'll bring up Sam Comer. And first baseman looks at a ball high for ball 1. Comer on the season batting .438, a homer, 5 runs driven in. So Bulldogs get a leadoff double to begin the inning, but he's erased on the hard bunt back to the pitcher. And here's a ball that's going to be golfed into left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Laying him around second, but that's where he will stay. As Sam Comer gets a 9-iron out and just pokes it into left field. The Bulldogs have 2 hits in the inning. Runners at first and second, 1 out. And the 8-hole batter, second baseman Austin Jones, will be the batter. Austin batting .200. No homers, no RBIs. As the right-handed batting second baseman steps in for the Bulldogs. Reynolds checks the runners, deals, swung on and missed on a fastball on the outside part of the plate. No balls and a strike. Right fielder and 9-hole batter Garrett Ish on deck for the Bulldogs. Liam at second, Comer at first. Pitch is on its way. A slider in there for a strike as it started middle of the plate and then broke off the outside corner, and Austin Jones finds himself in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Reynolds from the stretch deals. Breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Set him up with a fastball away, a slider on the outside part of the plate, and then Reynolds comes back and drops a breaking ball on the inside half of the plate. Buckles the knees of Austin Jones, and he's the second out, and that'll bring up right fielder Garrett Ish. Another breaking ball and a good one by Christian Reynolds. Breaks in there across the letters for a strike to Garrett Ish. Garrett batting .500. A homer and 12 runs driven in on the season. Another breaking ball swung on and missed. Liam had ideas of going to third, but a great job by Dylan Jones to keep that ball out in front of him as the count runs to no balls and 2 strikes to the Bulldogs right fielder. Runners take their leads at first and second. 0-2 pitch fouled out to the plate, and the count will remain at 0-2. Liam at second, Sam Comer at first. 2 down in the top of the second. Orioles with a 2-0 lead. Oriole defense playing straight away. And the 0-2 on its way to Ish. What breaking ball cut on miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. Inning starts off promisingly for the Bulldogs, but in the end they come up empty. After 1.5, Orioles 2, Bulldogs nothing.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northville Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. We go to the home half of the second inning here at Avon High School. Orioles leading 2-0. They'll have 8-9-1 due up here in the bottom of the second. Tasker Strobel, Jake Smith, and back to the top of the order with Cole Johnson. Trent Cabrich warming up in the Bulldogs bullpen as Caleb Sampson takes the mound for the bottom of the second against the left-handed batter Tasker Strobel. Strobel looks at a fastball inside for a ball. Strobel on the season batting .250, a homer, 7 runs driven in. Bulldogs will play him straight away, and he will pull one foul way down the left side. Running over and giving it a look is Hunter Liam, but it'll fall foul and can't leave it up at a ball and a strike. Jake Smith and back to the top of the order for the Orioles. Sampson looking to bounce back after that rough first inning. Here's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. Hartnagel picks it up on a bounce, throws over to first, and there's one away in the bottom of the second. Hartnagel backed up, took the short hop, and fired over to first for the first out, and that'll bring up Jake Smith. Smith batting .167 on the year. He does have 1 RBI on the season as the right-handed batting third baseman steps in and Sampson deals. This one's poked foul over to the right, out of play, and it's no balls and 1 strike to Jake Smith with Cole Johnson on deck for the Orioles. They lead 2-0. We're in the bottom of the second here at Avon High School. Outfield straight away for the Bulldogs as Sampson fires, and he pops this one up. Hartnagel calls for it on the infield as it falls into his glove, and there's 2 quick outs here in the home second. Back to the top of the order and Cole Johnson. Johnson single to right to lead off the game for the Orioles, but was eventually picked off as Kyle Yeager pumped once. Johnson, in his haste to get back to the bag, stumbled, and Yeager hooked up with Sam Comer to pick Johnson off. There's a ball that hits on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and a strike. Wind blowing from right field foul pole to left field foul pole. And here's a slow bouncing ball that will go foul off to the right. And Sampson is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Trent Cabrich down in the right field bullpen now just watching the action. He had started loosening up in between innings. 0-2 pitch, misses up and away, and the count's now to ball and 2 strikes. Matt Patustik on deck for the Orioles. Should they be able to extend the inning? Sampson looking to end it right here. 1-2 pitch down and in the dirt, gets away from Yeager, and that'll even up the count at 2-2. We'll have more Bulldog action later this week as Lafayette Jefferson comes in this Friday. There's a fastball that goes below the knees, and after being ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Colt Johnson, he's now watched the count run full at 3-2. Payoff pitch is on its way, and this one's fouled up over the screen, and this count will remain at 3-2. Bulldogs this week, we'll end it with Lafayette Jefferson on Friday and Saturday. We'll have that game for you Friday as the Broncos come to Brownsburg. Here's a ground ball bouncing over to Jones. Jones will throw over to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sampson and the Bulldogs here in the home second. We played 2 complete here at Avon. The Orioles lead 2-0. This is Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2.5 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Bulldogs trail 2-0 as we head to the top of the third. Brian Scott with you for the Bulldogs baseball on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. Don't forget, join Shane Ray every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It is The Breakfast Show. You can only hear it right here on 1610 AM XRB, the voice of Hendricks County. Leadoff single to begin the top of the third as Mike Hartnagel takes the first pitch he sees and slaps it into left field, and the Bulldogs have the leadoff man aboard for the second time in as many innings. And that'll bring up the center fielder Tyler Houston. Jackson McGowan to follow here as the Bulldogs trail by 2 heading into the top of the third as Christian Reynolds deals. Houston shows bunt, throw down from Dylan Jones to Matt Moore, but Hartnagel back easily as that pitch is upstairs to Houston for a ball. He'll look down to Coach Mattingly in the third base coaching box as he'll step back in. Jake Smith just shy of the grass at third. Runner goes, pitch is a call, is strike. Throw down is not nearly in time. It goes into center field, but Hartnagel will get the stolen base as it was straight steal all the way with Houston taking the pitch for a strike. For Hartnagel, stolen base number 14 on the season. And the Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position here in the top of the third. 1-1 count to Houston as the pitch is on its way. Swung on and missed on a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Jackson McGowan on deck for Brownsburg. Delivering the baseball back to Reynolds was Dylan Jones as once again Tyler Houston looks down to the third base coach's box. Houston struck out back in the first, one of 3 strikeouts for Christian Reynolds on the game, and he will spin back to second. Nobody covering the bag, but he will chase Hartnagel back. Hartnagel at second led off the inning with a single, stole second, and the 1-2 pitch is on its way, grounded to short. They will throw over to third, and they will tag out Mike Hartnagel. Hartnagel with the cardinal sin of running on a ball hit in front of him, and it was an easy throw from Justin Dunham to Jake Smith to take care of Hartnagel. That goes 6-5, and the fielder's choice allows Houston to reach first. So the Bulldogs, with a runner in scoring position, has him retired on a base running mistake, and with one away, Jackson McGowan is at the plate. Here's a high fastball outside, and throw down from Jones to Moore. Houston just back in as Jackson McGowan steps back into the batter's box. McGowan with a single back in the first. And the first pitch he sees is low for a ball, 1-0. Both catchers showing no fear in throwing down to first. We've seen it from both Dylan Jones and Kyle Yeager early in this contest. Houston with a lead at first as he goes. Reynolds throws, swung on and missed, and into second with the stolen base is Tyler Houston. McGowan swinging on the pitch to protect the runner. He missed, but Houston is into second with the stolen base. For Houston, stolen base number 6 on the season, swung on and missed on a ball low. And Jackson McGowan is now in a hole, ball and 2 strikes. Bulldogs with a couple of stolen bases in the inning, but that base running mistake by Hartnagel is now once again Reynolds will fake back to second. Reynolds' pitch is on its way. That ball's on the inside part as Dylan Jones will complete the strikeout as he briefly lost track of the ball, but it bounced in front of him. He'll throw on to first to complete the 2-3 strikeout on Jason McGowan. 4th strikeout for Christian Reynolds, and that'll bring up Cody Gill. Gill bounced out to third to end the first inning. Bulldogs with a runner at second and 2 down here in the top of the third, trailing 2-0. As Reynolds checks back at second, fires. Here's a fastball swung on and cut back to the screen by Gill. Houston at second. He reached on a fielder's choice on a ground ball to the left side. Hartnagel, who was at second, ball was in front, but he came to third anyway, and he was easy pickings at third. Houston stole second as that ball misses down and away, and count will even up at a ball and a strike. 2 down here, top of the third. Bulldogs trail 2-0 as Houston takes the lead at second. And a 1-1 count to Cody Gill. Pitch is on its way. Good breaking ball that Gill swings over the top, and count now runs at a ball and 2 strikes. Defense playing straight away against the Bulldog third baseman. Again, that wind blowing from right to left. And once again, faking back is Reynolds. Right fielder Matt Batustik might be swung a little bit over to left. Here is a curveball swung on and missed, tagged by Dylan Jones as Cody Gill, and the side is retired. Reynolds gets out of an inning that the Bulldogs look like once again they had some promise, but they'll come up empty. After 2.5, Avon 2, Bulldogs nothing.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whenever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. We go to the home half of the third inning here at Avon High School. Orioles with a 2-0 lead. Picked up a pair of runs in the top of the first, both of them unearned. So Caleb Sampson charged with the error that allowed the first run to score with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And then an RBI single by Chandler Sandburn chased across the second run. It'll be 2-3-4 in the Oriole lineup due up here in the bottom of the third. Matt Batustik, Dylan Jones, and Christian Reynolds. Oriole right fielder Batustik steps in. He grounded out to second as that pitch is high for a ball. A hard ground ball that was ranging up the middle, and a fine defensive play by Bulldog second baseman Austin Jones. Dove got the ball, picked it up, and fired a seed to first as that pitch misses away. And the count is now 2 balls and no strikes to Batustik. Trent Cabrich, who was warming up in the bullpen last inning, has sat down. Both bullpens quiet. Here's a fastball in on the outside part of the plate, and counts now 2 balls and a strike. Dylan Jones, Christian Reynolds to follow in the Oriole third. They lead by 2. And Caleb Sampson from the windup deals. Fastball down and away, and he's in danger of losing Batustik. 3 balls and a strike. Sampson peers into his catcher, Yeager. The 3-1 is on its way. It's a fastball away and a leadoff walk to Matt Batustik, as the Orioles have the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the third. Third walk of the game for Caleb Sampson. And Dylan Jones is the batter. Jones walked back in the first, came around on that Sampson throwing error down to the right field bullpen. Runner goes, pitch is swung on and missed, and Yeager can't quite get a hold of the baseball, and that's going to allow Batustik to steal second easily. For Batustik, stolen base number 8 of the season. He now leads the Orioles in that category. Swung and missed by Jones, and it's no balls and a strike, and he'll flail at that one that's down and away and be in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Orioles have the leadoff man in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Sampson watch Jones, sneaks in, fires, pitches up high. Able to hold off on that one was Jones. There's a fastball up in his eyes. He checked his swing, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Christian Reynolds due up for the Orioles following Jones, as Batustik takes his lead at second. 1-2 pitch is on its way. Here's a ball down to third. Off of the third baseman, Gill. He'll pick it up and have no play as that ball just kind of ate him up. It was a hard ball down the third base line. He tried to backhand it. The ball climbed up his arm. It'll be an infield single for Dylan Jones. And Batustik ran to third. Cody Gill briefly thought about, he tried to get back to the third base bag in time to tag out Batustik, but Batustik was already there. So runners at the corners with nobody out, and Christian Reynolds is the batter. Reynolds, hard hit ball into left field. That's a base hit. Chasing it down in left field is Liam. He will get it quickly into the infield, but Batustik will score from third, and the Orioles extend the lead to 3-0. For Christian Reynolds on the season now, RBI number 11. He now leads the Orioles in that category with his 11th run knocked in of the season. Runners are now at first and second, still nobody out, and once again Cabrich is going to head back to the bullpen for the Bulldogs as that pitch is up and in to Chandler Sandburn. Sandburn had an RBI single to plate the second Orioles run back in the first. 1 in, 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Orioles with a 3-0 lead. Sandburn heads down, talks to head coach Troy Drosch for just a second. Steps in with a 1-0 count. Runners take their leads. And he will bunt this ball to the left side, and catcher Kyle Yeager will pick it up in foul territory to even up the count at a ball and a strike. As the runners will return. Jones to second, Reynolds back to first. And heading back into the batter's box is Chandler Sandburn. Gill playing just behind the bag at third, while Sam Comer at first is playing in front of the runner. Caleb Sampson stretches and deals the 1-1, breaking ball in there for a called strike. And he's ahead in the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Justin Dunham on deck for the Orioles. They lead 3-0 here in the home half of the third. Outfield straightaway for the Bulldogs. And Sampson dealing the 1-2. Fastball in there for a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Sampson picks up his first strikeout of the game. He's walked 3. And now Justin Dunham heads to the plate. Dunham walked back in the first. And he comes up with runners at first and second and 1 out and 1 in here in the Oriole third. Runners take their lead, double steal. Nice hit into left field. Rounding third and heading home is Dylan Jones as the double steal works to perfection. And a well-placed hit by Justin Dunham as heading to the bag was third baseman Cody Gill. Had the runners not been in motion, Gill probably gets to that baseball. Reynolds holds up at second. And an RBI single by Justin Dunham plates the fourth Oriole run with runners at first and second. That brings out Coach Eric Mattingly. For Justin Dunham on the season now, that is RBI number 8 as Coach Mattingly is going to elect to leave the sophomore Sampson in as Trent Cabrick once again is loosening up in the Bulldog bullpen. So 2 are in and 1 is out. Runners at first and second, and Matt Moore, the first baseman, is the batter. He flew out to Tyler Houston in center field to end the first. And that pitch misses low for a ball. Inning started with a walk to Mac Batustik. He stole second. Dylan Jones singles, put runners at the corners, and then Reynolds followed with an RBI single, and then after a strikeout, Justin Dunham followed with an RBI single. That pitch misses as well, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes to Matt Moore. Right-hander Cabrich warming up quickly. Here's a ball slapped into the outfield. Houston comes over. He will pick it. He will get to the ball, and not quite far enough for Reynolds to think of tagging at second. And there's now 2 down here in the Oriole third. Houston from center field came all the way into short right field to catch that ball. He was in position. And Reynolds, no choice but to stay at second. So the runners stay at first and second, and Tasker Strobel is the batter. Strobel grounded out to Hartnagel at short back in the second. And that pitch misses up and away for a ball. Christian Reynolds is at second. Justin Dunham is at first. 2 are in for the Orioles. They lead 4-0. As Sampson straightens and deals the 1-0. Pitch in there at the knees for a called strike on a fastball, 1-1. Outfield straightaway for Brownsburg. Shortstop Hartnagel cheating toward the bag, trying to keep Reynolds close. Here's a ball lifted high in the air, left field. Going back is Liam, and he will make the play to retire the side. But damage done as the Orioles come up with a couple of runs. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Avon 4, Bulldogs nothing. This is a Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2 1/2 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. We played 3 innings here at Avon High School, and the home team Orioles up 4-0 against the Bulldogs. We'll head to the top of the 4th. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Dogs. Kyle Yeager, Hunter Liam, and Sam Comer due up as Christian Reynolds completes his warm-up tosses on the mound. Reynolds, as we mentioned at the top of the program, 1-1 on the year, 3 saves, and doing an excellent job starting here in this contest. He has struck out 5 through 3 innings, has not walked a batter, and has given up only 4 hits and no runs, and he will have Yeager, Liam, and Comer due up in the 4th. Yeager singled as that pitch misses for a ball. He singled to lead off the 2nd. He doubled into left. And then on a high bunt by Hunter Liam right back to the pitcher, Reynolds fired over to third baseman Jake Smith to nail him as this ball is going to scoot over to in the infield. Gets to the second baseman on a fine play by Brayton Nyland, diving to his knees, but beating it out on an infield single is Kyle Yeager. Ball scooted just under the glove of Christian Reynolds, might have been slightly deflected. Nyland came up with it, but as much as he tried to get up and throw a strong throw over to first, Yeager beats it out, and the Bulldogs have an infield single to begin the inning as Hunter Liam, the left fielder, watches that one in for a ball. Liam reached on a fielder's choice on that bunt attempt, then went right back to the pitcher. Reynolds will throw over, and Yeager will dive back into first. The ball gets away, but not too far for Matt Moore. Bulldogs have had runners in scoring position the last 2 innings, but have failed to capitalize as that ball is slapped up and over the screen out of play, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike. They got the leadoff man aboard in each of the previous 2 innings, but were unable to capitalize. There's a breaking ball that stays high, and the count's 2-1 to Hunter Liam. Sam Comer on deck for the Bulldogs, trailing 4-0 here in the top of the 4th. Reynolds will check Yeager at first and deal. Yeager runs, pitches cut on and fouled out of play as the hit and run was on, and Liam slaps it over the first base dugout, where the Bulldogs reside, out of play. Can't leave it up at 2-2 as Kyle Yeager returns to first. Outfield straightaway for the Orioles. And Reynolds dealing the 2-2 pitch. And now he will step off the rubber and gets a fresh set of signs from Dylan Jones. From the stretch, Yeager takes his lead. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball up and in, and the count is run full to the Bulldogs left fielder, Hunter Liam. So we'll see if Coach Mattingly sends Yeager on this 3-2 pitch. He doesn't. Pitch is swung on and fouled back over the screen, and count remains full. Again, the Oriole outfield playing straight away for Hunter. And the payoff pitch, runner goes this time, is going to be slapped out of play over the right field fence. Down in foul territory as Yeager, who wasn't running on the previous 3-2 pitch, was running on that one. But he'll have to return to first as Hunter Liam making Christian Reynolds work for it here in this top half of the 4th inning. Reynolds once again, this time runner holds. Here's a ball slapped into left field. That's a base hit. Yeager will pull up at second as Hunter Liam reaches base for the second time in this contest, his first hit of the game. Hits are all evened up at 6 apiece for the Bulldogs and the Orioles, and that'll bring up Sam Comer. Comer had a single back in the second, and Bulldogs would love to see one right now with runners at first and second and nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Kyle Yeager at second, Hunter Liam at first. They'll take their leads. And the right-handed batting first baseman Sam Comer at the plate. He shows bunts it to first, charging and not able to find the ball. Now a late throw, and he's not able to get Sam Comer hustling down first. Charging from third was Matt Moore. They had it played perfectly. It was bunted straight to him, but he couldn't get a hold of the baseball, and the error will be charged to the first baseman as the bases will be loaded with Bulldogs and Austin Jones, the batter. So the Orioles with the right play, but Moore simply couldn't come up with a baseball, and there's runners at every base for the Bulldogs second baseman, and that ball up and in on a fastball, ball one. Yeager at third, Liam at second, Comer at first, Jones the batter. Pitch is swung on and missed on a high fastball, and the count even up at a ball and a strike. Jones looking for his first RBI of the season. And they have runners at every base. 1-1 count to the Bulldogs second baseman as Reynolds pours in a fastball, and Jones swings just underneath it, but enough to foul it back, straight back to the screen, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Garrett Ish on deck for the Bulldogs. They trail by 4. They have the bases loaded and nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Reynolds with a 1-2 pitch, and that pitch is, they're going to say that Jones swung. It was a pitch outside. Late call by the home plate umpire, but they said Jones broke the plate and swung, and that's the first out of the inning. Second strikeout by Jones. 6th strikeout by Christian Reynolds, and with 2 down, Garrett Ish is the batter. Ish was a Reynolds strikeout victim back in the second. And a breaking ball comes in just too much inside. And Ish is ahead in the count of the ball and no strikes. Garrett on the season, even though he's batting 9-hole, he's batting .500 with 12 runs driven in. And an excellent opportunity here. Here's another breaking ball, but this one hits the inside corner, and the count's now even up at a ball and a strike. Top of the order, and Mike Hartnagel on deck for the Bulldogs. Trailing 4-0. We're in the visitors' 4th. Another breaking ball. This one stays upstairs, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. Outfield straight away for Avon. Kyle Yeager at third, Hunter Liam at second, Sam Comer at first. 2-ball, 1-strike count to Ish. Reynolds pours another breaking ball in there, this one for a strike. And the count's evened up at 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch as Reynolds works from the stretch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So back-to-back punch-outs by Christian Reynolds. And now with the bases loaded but 2 away, we'll go back to the top of the order and Mike Hartnagel. But not before we're going to have a meeting at the mound. Kyle Yeager's at third, Hunter Liam at second, Sam Comer at first. Yeager led off this inning with a single, followed by Hunter Liam, and then Sam Comer on a sacrifice attempt pushed it to the first base side, but the ball wasn't handled by Matt Moore as he couldn't get a grip on it, and his throw to first was late to load the bases. But back-to-back punch-outs by Christian Reynolds of Austin Jones and Garrett Ish have the Orioles 1 out of away from escaping a big inning. Meeting breaks up as the infield returns to their respective positions. Dylan Jones returns behind the plate, and Mike Hartnagel, the batter. Bulldogs leading hitter at the plate, 1 for 2, a stolen base. And he's up there with the bases loaded. He golfs this one into left field. That's a base hit. Yeager will score. They'll send Liam. He's on his way. He'll score standing, and the Bulldogs cut the deficit in half as they now trail 4-2 on the two-run single by Mike Hartnagel. Just a little golf shot into left field. Got over the third baseman, Jake Smith's head. Fell in front of Tasker Strobel. 2-run score, and the Bulldogs, as I said, have cut the deficit in half. As Yeager and Liam score, Sam Comer held up at second, and the batter is Tyler Houston, who watches that one pour in for a strike. Houston is 0 for 2, struck out in the first, reached on a fielder's choice, and stole a base in the third. 2 out, 2 in, 2 on. That pitch misses down and away for a ball, 1-1. For Mike Hartnagel on the season, RBIs number 14 and 15. There's a breaking ball that just doesn't go anywhere, as it looked like Reynolds couldn't get on top of that pitch, and the count is now at 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 out, top of the fourth, Bulldogs with 2 in. They've cut it to a 4-2 deficit. Here's a fastball up and in, and the count now has run to 3-1. Jackson McGowan on deck for the Bulldogs. Tyler Houston, the 7th Bulldog to reach or head to the plate in this inning. There's a fastball that misses, ball 4, and the bases are once again full of dogs. Comer goes to third, Hartnagel to second, Houston at first on the walk, and Jackson McGowan the batter. Jackson McGowan 1 for 2, a single in the first, struck out back in the third, as Dylan Jones will walk the baseball back out to Christian Reynolds. McGowan, the 8th Bulldog to bat here in the inning. And the walk to Houston is Christian Reynolds' first walk of the game. He has struck out 7, including 2 in this inning, which looked to be a big inning for the Bulldogs. After getting the bases loaded with nobody out, he punched out Jones and Ish. And a swing and a miss on a healthy cut by Jackson McGowan. Bulldogs take their lead from every base. Defense straight away for Avon. 4-2 is our score. Avon with the lead, and a nice breaking ball right there. Took something off. And Reynolds is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch is on its way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Strike 3 as Christian Reynolds strikes out the side, but the Bulldogs get a pair of runs. We play 3.5. Avon 4, Brownsburg 2. This is Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. Played 3.5 here at Avon High School. The Bulldogs pick up a pair of runs in the top half of the inning. They now trail 4-2 as Caleb Sampson heads out to the mound to begin his 4th inning of work, and he will have 9-1-2 in the Oriole batting order. Jake Smith, Cole Johnson, and Matt Batustak at the plate. First pitch swinging is Smith. He'll ground it to Hartnagel over to first to Comer. 1 pitch, 1 out for Sampson and the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th. Back to the top of the order for Cole Johnson. Johnson 1 for 2. Singled, he's been picked off and grounded to second. Once again, Trent Cabrich loosening up in the Bulldog bullpen down the right field line as Sampson pitches, and a fastball misses away, a ball. 2 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Dogs. 4 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Orioles. Here's a breaking ball that is bounded out to Austin Jones at second, fires to first, and there's 2 quick outs here in the Oriole fourth. Matt Patustak will be the batter. He is 0 for 1, grounded to second, walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the third. As he will talk to head coach Troy Droshi as they talk it over, as coming in and playing even at the grass now at third for the Dogs is Cody Gill. As Patustak steps into the right-handed batter's box, looks at a breaking ball called for a strike, breaks across the letters. No balls and a strike. The 0-1 is on its way. Here's another breaking ball. That'll get to Hartnagel. Backhands a strong throw to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sampson and the Dogs. We've played 3.5 here at Avon. Avon 4, Bulldogs 2. This is Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2 1/2 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Brian Scott back at Avon High School. I said it was the end of 3.5. Of course, that was the end of the fourth inning. We go to the fifth. And the Orioles lead the Bulldogs by the score of 4-2 as Sampson, after a couple of rough innings, had a nice, easy bottom of the fourth, 3 up, 3 down. Second time the Bulldogs have gotten the Orioles out in order. They did so in the second with the Orioles plating 2 runs each in the first and the third. We go to the top of the fifth, and Christian Reynolds pours in a strike to the Bulldog third baseman and 4-hole hitter Cody Gill. It'll be Gill, Kyle Yeager, and Hunter Liam due up for the Bulldogs here in the top of the fifth. As that one misses away for a ball, 1-1. Reynolds works quickly, and the 1-1 pitch is on its way. Waved at, bounced, and they'll say it was fouled at the plate. And that'll put Gill down a ball and 2 strikes. Reynolds, so far in the day, has struck out 8, walked 1. And while he gave up the 2 runs in the fourth, he struck out the side. There's a strikeout swinging, or strikeout looking, I should say, as Cody Gill watches that fastball hit the outside corner. Second strikeout of the day for Gill. He's 0 for 3. And the 9th strikeout for Christian Reynolds as Kyle Yeager steps up to the plate. Reynolds drops in a beauty breaking ball for a strike. Reynolds has done a good job of mixing in a breaking ball, a fastball. He's thrown a slider on a couple of occasions. Here's another breaking ball, and it's been that breaking ball that's been keeping the Bulldogs batters off stride all game long, and Reynolds gets the ball back quickly from Jones and rocks and fires. 0-2 on its way, swung on and missed, strike 3. That is 3 consecutive strikeouts going back to the fourth. And again, the 10th strikeout now for Reynolds as Hunter Liam steps up. Liam 1 for 2 as that pitch misses for a ball. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Singled and scored a run back in the fourth. As Reynolds works quickly, fastball gets away from Jones, and the count's now 2 balls and no strikes. Sam Comer on deck. Should Liam be able to reach? 2-0 pitch is on its way, and this one's slapped foul over the first base dugout out of play. And the count's now 2 balls and 1 strikes. We're in the top of the fifth inning at Avon. Bulldogs trail 4-2 as Reynolds has been sharp. Here's a breaking ball cut on and missed, and the count will even up at 2-2. Reynolds has been impressive being able to get that breaking ball in on the inside part of the play. Here's another breaking ball. Gets away from the catcher, Jones. He will fire down to first. And once again, for the second consecutive inning, Christian Reynolds has struck out the side. We've played 4.5. Avon 4, Bulldogs 2. Back after this. This is Bulldogs Baseball on XRB.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. We go to the home half of the fifth inning with the Orioles leading the Bulldogs by the score of 4-2. Brian Scott with you for Bulldogs Baseball here on XRB. We'll be back on the air Friday afternoon as Troy Reimer, Christopher Worley, Rob Kendall will be back with you as the Bulldogs will host the Broncos from Lafayette Jefferson at Rose Park as Caleb Sampson pours in a first pitch strike to Dylan Jones. It'll be Jones, Christian Reynolds, and Chandler Sandburn. 3, 4, 5 in the Oriole batting order here in the home half of the fifth as that pitch misses away 1-1. Trent Cabrich once again gets up on the rubber for Sampson as he puts a fastball right on the outside corner, 1-2. He had easy innings in the second and fourth where he retired the Orioles in order, but he gave up 2 runs in the first and 2 runs in the third. That pitch misses away and can't leave it up at 2-2. Jones officially 1 for 1, walked and scored a run in the first, singled and scored a run in the third. Here's a ball lifted high but foul down the third base line as activity is also beginning now in the Orioles bullpen. 2-2 pitch on its way. Sampson took something off, and Jones is going to slap this one into left field. Quickly getting to it is Hunter Liam, and a nice play by the Bulldogs left fielder to hold Jones to a leadoff single. Ball went down the left field line. Liam got over there quickly to cut it off and hold Jones to a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Christian Reynolds. Reynolds is, and now we'll have a pinch runner as Jones will leave, and it will be Cole Bailey pinch running at first. So Bailey comes in to pinch run at first base, and the batter again is Christian Reynolds. Reynolds, as I mentioned, reached on an error in the first and scored, and an RBI single in the third. Sampson throws over to first, and Bailey, who was just inserted as a pinch runner, is just able to get underneath the tag of Sam Comer and get back to first safely. Sampson deals, runner goes, swung on and missed. Yeager can't get a hold of the baseball, and it'll be a stolen base for Cole Bailey. For Bailey on the season, that is his third stolen base of the year. 0-1 count now to Reynolds. Pitches in, checks his swing, and not in time, as says the home plate umpire, and the count's now at 0 balls and 2 strikes to Reynolds with Chandler Sandburn on deck for the Orioles. They lead 4-2. We're in the home half of the fifth inning. Jones comes in at second, now retreats. Pitch is bounded up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. They'll wave Bailey around. He will score on a close play, but now that's going to allow, since it overthrew the cutoff man, that's going to allow Reynolds to easily go into second base on the throw. RBI single for Reynolds. Bailey will score, and Tyler Houston through to the plate. And that allowed Reynolds to motor around to second, and he will depart after reaching second, and I believe Spencer Black will be the pinch runner now for Christian Reynolds. So we will likely see a new pitcher for the Orioles in the top of the sixth, as Coach Mattingly now out talking to his defense. A run in here in the fifth. Dylan Jones on an RBI single. He was lifted for pinch runner Cole Bailey. Bailey stole second and motors around to third on the RBI single from Christian Reynolds. And now Spencer Black will run for Reynolds, and Chandler Sandburn is the batter. Sandburn 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first, struck out looking back in the third. Sampson will peer in with a runner in and nobody out here in the home fifth, and Black at second. Sampson deals. Here's a number to Hartnagel. Black will move to third. Hartnagel throws to first. There's one away as Black moves up 90 feet. One out, a runner at third. That brings up Justin Dunham. Dunham officially 0 for 1, walked in the first, an RBI single in the third. Orioles have a run in here in the bottom of the fifth. They lead 5-2 with a runner at third and one out. Here's a fastball, or almost like a cutter, cuts inside Dunham and up and in. It's a ball, 1-0. Black at third, as he moved over on the ground out by Sandburn. Sampson deals. Here's a squeeze. Picked up to Sampson. He'll throw to first to Yeager, and Yeager can't hold on to the baseball. Squeeze was on. Black scores. Ball was bunted right back to Sampson. Sampson's throw was a little off, but Yeager probably should have had that baseball. He couldn't hold on to it, and the squeeze is successful. And the Orioles once again have a 4-run lead. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Matt Moore. Moore has flied out to Tyler Houston in center. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. And Yeager will just put it in his back pocket as Justin Dunham has the base stolen. For Dunham, stolen base number 5 on the season, and the Orioles once again have a runner in scoring position and only one out. 2 are in here in the home fifth. Fastball, they say, hits the outside corner for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes is the count to Moore. Tasker Strobel on deck for the Orioles. Sampson from the stretch deals, fastball away, counts now 1-2. Well, as funny as this game of baseball usually is, Sampson having his problem in the odd innings. In the second and the fourth, he sent the Orioles down in order, but he gave up 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 2 so far in the fifth. That ball's down and in the dirt. Nice smother by Kyle Yeager, and the count evens up at 2-2. And is the fourth stolen base for the Orioles this afternoon, as this is a ball bounced over to first to Comer. Underhand toss to Caleb Sampson covering the bag. The out is recorded 3-1. As moving up 90 feet is Justin Dunham to third, but 2 out here in the home fifth, and that'll bring up Tasker Strobel. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter as Bo Riggins. He'll be in for Scrobel. Riggin is a right-handed batter, batting .273, no homers, 2 runs driven in for the Orioles. Dunham at third. 2 are in. We are in the home half of the 5th. Orioles lead 6-2. Sampson fastball away, ball 1. Trent Cabrich, who has almost pitched an entire game out in the Bulldog bullpen since about the first inning. There's a pitch that misses up and away, 2-0. Continues to loosen as we are in the home 5th. 2 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Dogs. 6-9-1 for the Orioles. Fastball lifted into left field, and that will get down for a hit. Rounding first and heading to second is Bo Riggins, and he will put on the brakes and quickly retreat to first as Hunter Liam gets the ball back in quickly. But it's an RBI single as Justin Dunham scores, and it's a 7-2 Oriole lead. And Coach Eric Mattingly is heading out to the bullpen, and that'll be the end of the day for Caleb Sampson. We have a pitching change on the at the mound. Bulldogs trail 7-2. This is Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
Nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2 1/2 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Caleb Sampson's day is done. He gives up 7 runs on 10 hits. 5 were earned. He walked 3, struck out 1, and Bo Riggin at first is his responsibility as Trent Cabrich comes in for the Bulldogs. Cabrich is 1-1 on the season. In 8 1/3 innings, he's given up 10 hits, 13 runs, walked 10, struck out 5, has a 10.08 ERA, and he will be facing Jake Smith, the Oriole 9-hole batter, as we are in the home half of the 5th, and 3 runs have come across to give the Orioles a 7-2 lead. Bo Riggin is at first. He had the RBI single to bring home Justin Dunham. And Smith is the batter as the right-hander Cabrich comes from the set. Slider in there for a strike. More activity in the Bulldogs bullpen is now Michael Clare begins to loosen. Here's a ball bounced through the hole on the left side and into left field for a base hit. Riggin will stop at second. Jake Smith has himself a single, his first hit of the ball game, and the inning continues as the Orioles go back to the top of the batting order, and the 8th man to bat in the inning will be Cole Johnson. Johnson 1 for 3, a single, and is ground out to second twice. Riggin at second, Smith at first. 2 out, 3 in for the Orioles. We're in the home half of the 5th. Cabrich deals a slider. It's in there, swung on for a strike by Johnson. Again, Michael Clare warming up down in the Bulldog bullpen, just soft-tossing right now. Cabrich delivers. It's a ball in the dirt smothered by Yeager, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Matt Batustak, who would be the 9th man to bat in this inning, is on deck, but there are 2 outs for the Orioles. Here's a ball lifted into right field. Coming in is Garrett Ish, and he will make the catch and retire the side. Well, once again, the Orioles come up with 3 runs. They do it on 5 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left on base. After 5, Orioles lead the Bulldogs 7-2. This is Bulldogs baseball on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. We head to the top of the 6th inning as the Bulldogs now trail 7-2. And it will be the bottom third of the Bulldogs batting order, Sam Comer, Austin Jones, as we will actually have a pinch hitter as Tyler Westrich is at the plate. And a cut on and a miss. And quickly Westrich is in a hole, 0-2. Westrich batting in the 7 hole. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Breaking ball fouls up at the plate and counts. Remains a ball and 2 strikes. Westrich on the season batting .316. No homers, 3 RBIs in 9 games. 19 at bats as that one's also fouled at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Christian Reynolds deals the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Gets away from Jones. He'll throw over to first. And for Christian Reynolds, he has now struck out 5 batters in a row, going back to the 4th inning. It's his 12th strikeout, and he only had 8 strikeouts coming into this game, and he's now struck out 12 Bulldogs as Austin Jones looks at a strike. Garrett Ish on deck for the Bulldogs as we run into the final couple of innings here from Avon. Bulldogs looking for the series sweep. And there's another great breaking ball by Reynolds, and Jones swings through it, a ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 as Reynolds deals. Breaking ball smothered by Jones, and it'll even up the count at 2-2. Outfield will play straight away for Jones as the Bulldogs look to solve Mr. Reynolds. As here's a fastball down in the dirt, and the count runs full to the Bulldogs' second baseman. Three balls, 2 strikes to Jones as Garrett Ish waits on deck. Payoff pitch on its way. This one's bounded up the middle. That's a base hit. Austin Jones takes a 3-2 pitch and delivers it right back up the middle. Bulldogs' 8th hit of the game, and they have a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 6th, and that'll bring up Garrett Ish. Ish is 0 for 2, and he has struck out twice against Mr. Reynolds. As Jones will take his lead at first. Bulldogs trail 7-2. Swung on and miss. As again, Reynolds has done an outstanding job this afternoon of mixing up his pitches, changing speeds, changing locations, keeping Bulldogs batters off balance with an excellent breaking ball, then mixing in the fastball and changing eye levels. And 12 strikeouts on the game. That one bounces in the dirt, smothered by Dylan Jones, as Austin Jones doesn't stray too far from first. And with the Bulldogs down by 5, they need base runners. 7-2 is our score. It's cut on and missed by Ish as the ball gets away from Jones once again, and the count is 1-2 to the Bulldogs right fielder. Top of the order, and Mike Hartnagel on deck for Brownsburg. Michael Clayer continues to loosen in the Bulldog bullpen. The 1-2 pitch. Reynolds deals. Cut on and missed. Strikeout number 13. That's Christian Reynolds. With the exception of the fourth. Ran into a little bit of trouble in the second, but the Bulldogs kind of ran themselves out of the inning, and he will now look to deal with Mike Hartnagel, and he deals Hartnagel a slider that's in there for a strike. Seven to 2 is our score in the top of the sixth. Reynolds deals. Fastball downstairs, and once again, good block by the Oriole catcher, Dylan Jones. The count evens up at a ball on a strike. This time they will bring Cole Johnson a little round toward right for Hartnagel. Big hole down in left center alley as this ball is bounded foul over to the Oriole dugout, third base side, and it counts the ball in 2 strikes. Reynolds had his strikeout streak stopped at 5 on Austin Jones' single, and here's a bounding ball to second. Flip over to short. They flip over to second, go the short way to retire Austin Jones, and that's the inning. Bulldogs strand a runner, and after 5.5, Orioles 7, Bulldogs 2. This is Bulldogs baseball on XRB.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum offers one of the most diversified car collections in the world. It can all be viewed within the infield of the historic 2 1/2 mile oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Located at 4790 West 16th Street in Indianapolis, admission is just $5. Children 6 to 15 years of age are $3, and children under 6 are free. The museum's hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from March through October, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. November through February. They have extended hours during May, and they're closed Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Avon Orioles are coming up to bat for what they hope will be the final time this afternoon as they hold a 5-run lead over the Bulldogs, 7-2. 2 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Bulldogs. 7 runs, 10 hits, and an error for the Orioles. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Orioles. Matt Batustik, as he looks at a first pitch strike from Trent Cabrich as he begins the 6th inning. And he gets the 2-stack swinging away, and he's quickly in a hole 0-2 with Dylan Jones on deck for the Orioles. Cabrich deals the 0-2. Breaking ball in there for called strike 3. One away in the home 6th, and Dylan Jones will be the batter. Jones, 2 for 2. Walked and scored a run in the first, singled and scored a run in the third, singled and gave way to pinch runner Cole Bailey, and Bailey eventually scored in the 5th. And that is a pitch in there at the letters for a called strike. No balls and a strike to Jones. Michael Clayer still warming up in the Bulldog bullpen. As Cabrich deals, and this ball is skied to left field. Going out, coming in, and trying to make the catch over the shoulder was Hartnagel. Ball bounced off of his glove. It'll fall in for a single. A long run for both Liam Houston and Hartnagel. Hartnagel tried to make an over-the-shoulder basket catch, but it just falls off of the end of his glove, and Jones will have his third hit of the contest. A one-out base runner for the Orioles, and Christian Reynolds is the batter. Reynolds, 2 for 3. Pair of singles, a couple of runs scored, and 2 RBIs on the day, not to mention his outstanding work on the mound. Cabrich deals. Fastball away, ball 1. Looking to the Bulldogs, top of the 7th. They'll have 2, 3, and 4 due up. Tyler Houston, Jackson McGowan, and Cody Gill. There's a ball that's inside. Ball 2, 2-0 to Reynolds. Chandler Sandburn on deck for the Orioles. Orioles up by 5, home half of the 6th. Bulldog outfield will play straight away. And the pitch is inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Reynolds. See if he'll get the green light here. If Coach Droschi will let him swing away at 3-0. Pitch is on its way. It's inside, but right there on the corner, it's called strike. Not a pitch Reynolds would have wanted to swing at anyway. Good pitch by Trent Cabrich. Pitch is on its way outside, ball 4, and runners move up to first and second on the one-out walk. And that'll bring up Chandler Sandburn. Sandburn on the day is 1 for 3. And that pitch misses away. So another walk. This one to Sandburn will load the bases, and Justin Dunham will be at the plate. Bases loaded, and only 1 out here in the Orioles 6th. Pitch misses away for a ball. There's a breaking ball that's in there for a strike, 1-1. Seven to 2 is our score. As Trent Cabrich on the mound, he walked Reynolds and Sandburn after a 1-out single by Dylan Jones. Here's a ball lifted high in the left field. Going out is Liam. He will get it. Tagging and scoring from third base will be Dylan Jones, and the Orioles extend their lead to 8-2. Sac fly to left by Dunham, and that will bring up a pinch hitter for the Orioles, and Josh Ross for Matt Moore. Left-handed batter, runners at second, third, 2 away, but a run in for Avon as that pitch misses for a ball. Here's a pitch hit lifted high and over in foul territory, giving chase, and at the screen Unable to come up with it is Cody Gill. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. 8-2 is our score here in the bottom of the 6th. And that's a called strike to Ross, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count now to the pinch hitter for Matt Moore. One, 2 on its way. That's upstairs. Counts 2-2. So 2 ball, 2 strike count. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Pitches outside and counts now run full. Inning started with a Matt Patustik strikeout by Trent Cabrick. And then a single and 2 straight walks loaded the bases after a sac fly by Dunham. Scored the 8th Oriole run. This one's cut on and fouled back to the screen. And the count runs full to Josh Ross. Runners go, pitches inside, ball 4, and the bases once again are loaded. 3rd walk of the inning by Cambridge. As Reynolds moves to 3rd, Sandburn to 2nd. Ross is at 1st. Tasker Strobel is the batter. Pitch is on its way. That's upstairs. Ball 1. Michael Clare still warming up in the Bulldogs bullpen. As Cabrick deals, here's a ball high pop-up. Gill in foul territory will make the play and end the inning. Orioles tack on a run. We'll go to the top of the 7th. One more chance for the Bulldogs. They trail 8-2. This is Bulldogs baseball on ASO.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary.
You know, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Christian Reynolds is not on the mound as they have a new pitcher, and that will be Tasker Strobel that's come in to take over on the mound, and he will have Houston, who bunts left side, picked up by the third baseman. He'll put it in his pocket as speedy runner in Tyler Houston gets down with a bunt single, and the Orioles have a leadoff base runner. Christian Reynolds pitched a fantastic baseball game as he ended up on the day striking out 13 Orioles. But Strobel comes in to take over and finish this one out for Reynolds. Strobel on the year, two wins, 2 losses, 1 save as McGowan set a strike count, evens up at a ball and a strike. 29 2/3 innings. He has given up 22 hits, 18 runs, walked 9, struck out 27. Has a 2.83 earned run average. And the left-hander is on for Reynolds as the Orioles lead by 6. And he will throw over and chase Tyler Houston back. Houston bunts single to lead off the inning. Bulldogs trail 8-2. 2 runs, 9 hits, and an error for the Bulldogs. 12-12-1 for the Orioles. Here's a ball fouled over the right side, over to the stands on a hot shot. And the count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that one gets away from the catcher, Dylan Jones, as the ball breaks into the dirt. And the wild pitch will allow Houston to move up to second. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the Bulldog designated hitter, Jackson McGowan. McGowan 1 for 3 this afternoon, a single, and struck out twice. As Reynolds struck out 13 Bulldogs during his 6 innings of work. Here's a ball that slapped right side foul down the first base line, and the count will remain at 2-2. Cody Gill on deck for the Bulldogs. They trail by 6 as we are in the top of the 7th inning. Here's a ball that just misses off the outside part of the plate. And McGowan draws a walk to put Bulldogs at first and second with nobody out here in the 7th, and Gill the batter. Gill is 0 for 3. He is grounded to third and struck out twice. As the left-hander Strobel deals. And here's a ball lifted high in the air down the right field line. Chasing it is the first baseman Moore, but it will land in foul territory. And Gill will see the count go to no balls and a strike. Oh and 1 to Gill. As the pitch comes in, poured in there for a strike, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to the Bulldog third baseman with Kyle Yeager on deck. Fastball comes inside by Strobel, and 1-2 is now the count. Defense straight away. Bulldogs first 2 have reached here in the 7th after Strobel took over for Christian Reynolds. Here's a ball foul down third base line, and the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cody Gill. Tyler Houston at second. He had a bunt single to begin this 7th. Jackson McGowan, he walked, but runners at first and second. Here's another high fly ball left field, and it will go out of play. And the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gill. Pitch is on its way. This one's fouled off again, and Gill hanging in there against Strobel as he has fouled off some pretty good pitches on the inside part of the plate. And the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's another inside pitch. This time Gill comes up empty and 1 away here in the Bulldogs' 7th. Kyle Yeager is the batter for the Bulldogs. Kyle is 2 for 3. Doubled in the 2nd, singled and scored a run in the 4th, struck out in the 5th. Comes up with the runners at first and second and 1 out. And there's a ball that hits the outside corner for a strike. Strobel to the stretch, checks the runners, the left-hander deals. This one's popped up into right field. Coming in to make the play is Matt Batustak, and they're 2 down, and the Bulldogs are down to their final out. That'll bring up Hunter Liam. Liam is 1 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Had a single in the 4th, scored a run, and has struck out. Bulldogs trail by 6. Runners at first and second, 2 down here in the top of the 7th. And Hunter watches that pitch sail outside for a ball. Here's a ground ball that will be picked up by the shortstop, and he can't hang on to it as Justin Dunham had his momentum going to second. You could tell he was wanting to shovel that ball off quickly to Brayton Nyland, and in the end he fumbled it away, and all hands are safe. Second error of the game for the Orioles. That'll keep the inning alive for the Bulldogs as Sam Comer is the batter. Comer watches this one sail outside for a ball. Comer 1 for 2, a single and reached on an error back in the 4th. Next pitch is right there on the outside corner for a strike, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Austin Jones on deck. Should Comer be able to continue the inning? 1-1 pitch is on its way. Here's a ball roped into the outfield. Chasing it and not going to be able to come up with it is Cole Johnson. This will clear the bases as, they'll hold up Hunter Liam at third. As Sam Comer, it's a 2-run double out to left center field as both Houston and McGowan score. And the Bulldogs now trail by 4, 8-4. As the first pitch there to Austin Jones is a ball. 2 runs by Sam Comer on the season, RBIs 6 and 7, as that's a called strike to Jones. Liam was rounding third as here's a ball out to the second baseman Nyland over to first, and the game is over on the ground out to second. And the Orioles win this one by the score of 8-4. Bulldogs 4 runs, 10 hits, and an error. The Orioles 8 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. Your winning pitcher is Christian Reynolds. For Reynolds on the season, that will improve his record to 2-1. The loss pinned to Caleb Sampson. He's now 1-1. Bulldogs will next be on XRB this Friday as they host the Broncos from Lafayette Jefferson. Bulldogs baseball has been brought to you by State Farm agent Pete Fay, Nelson Jewelers, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Once again, your final score. The Orioles defeat the Bulldogs by the score of 8-4. This is Brian Scott saying thanks for joining me this afternoon. We'll look forward to seeing you next time on Bulldogs baseball. Until then, so long, everybody. The Indianapolis Motor Speed